¿Te imaginas un futuro donde la inteligencia artificial sea tu mejor aliado en la práctica legal? Cortney DeBasio, de Thomson Reuters, nos cuenta sobre cómo ChatGPT ya está optimizando productos legales y generando beneficios inimaginables. Acompáñanos y descubre cómo se está liderando la revolución tecnológica en el sector legal.
I just wanted to start off and share that, in this environment, I think it's noteworthy to just give you a little bit of background on the history I have with PR and the relationship with the law, I can say. I have a little bit of experience. My kids just informed me that I grew up in the 1900s. So I think some of you in this room can appreciate that. I started with PR, or I practiced law briefly and then moved from Kansas City to Washington, D.C. to work with the federal government team of PR, and then spent some time across all of our segments, and left briefly, went to work for a small startup, and came back, and now I'm a global client director with the large law team. And as a global client director, I actually appreciate those relationships, collaboration, insight that we just learned about, because I think that's really what our jobs are, is working with our large law firms and Law 200 to understand and support their global needs. So this is me being really excited. I have never been more excited than I am in this time. I think that we're really in a transformative crossroads. I think that the energy around AI and the disruption is really exciting. I also think that it's a really uncertain time. I think there's a lot of what we just heard. I don't know what's going to happen, and that's really true. I don't think anybody can predict that. And I think as we embrace that, we'll all be able to move forward. But we have to do so with creativity. And I think that's really important, is using our imagination as we move forward. So, just jumping in, I think it's imperative to note I'm in a job where I have the luck of interacting with the C-suite and, like I said, AMLA 200 firms, and working with CIOs and CKOs, and I've learned a lot through that and digesting a lot of different information studies. I think everybody's overloaded with data at this point, right? And I think there's 6 things that I want to kind of consistent thread throughout all the conversations that have had in the last maybe 6 to 8 months. First, some of the comments up here, the industry really is reorienting around AI. I think all of us are in the thrust of that and are recognizing that as we go. It's an evolution, as we all know. And an evolution of this magnitude requires us all to step out of our comfort zone and change our mindsets and our expectations. Second, for those of us who embrace it, I think that they'll understand that the only certainty is uncertainty. Third, like I referenced before, this is an evolution, and we're at the very beginning of the journey. So nothing will be perfect at its outset, right? What version of the iPhone are we all on? I'm on, I think, 11 or 12, and I think there's 15 or 16. So nothing will be perfect at the outset, right? And there will always be a human in the loop, so trust and verify. Fourth, I think it's imperative we educate, and I think everybody in this room is of those people who will do the educating and setting the expectations for those that we work with, that it's not perfect, and that these are the capabilities and these are the limitations. And that we need to put AI in the hands of lawyers so that they can learn for themselves. Fifth, we're moving, and I think this has been said a bunch of times, we're moving into a relationship economy, which means it is about talent, and it is more than ever, people will be and continue to be the number one asset in our organization. organizations because of their critical thinking and collaboration skills. And then finally, as professionals, I can't impress upon everyone enough, and Thomson Reuters being the leader, one of the industry leaders, that we need to put benchmarks and regulations and guardrails in place as we move forward. And I think we can all agree on that. I think to leave you with that, I think quite simply we need to invest in trust in people, we need to invest in trust in technology, and we need to invest in trust and data quality. So there's a lot of elements of trust. I think a couple things through our research at TR, we've predicted a few waves of transformation. As you can see here, we're in wave one, where we're kind of experimenting. And as our head of engineering recently said, the Gen AI in its current form is solving the problems of yesterday. And it will move, as it moves forward in waves 2 and 3, it will solve the problems of tomorrow. And we'll see broader adoption as it matures. Waves 2 and 3 too, and we're seeing 2027, 2028, it's faster than we think. The industry will be in transformation, right? I'm not telling you guys most of what you don't know, but this is how we constructed it. But I also think it's important to note, the AI will give smaller firms the ability to move up market, and we'll see a lot more of the merging of firms to reevaluate. And then finally, the third wave is just a complete and utter disruption. At TR, I think a year into this, we're seeing a couple of stats. 71% of professionals across AI. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. But 74 of legal professionals use it. 96 of in-house operations use it, or allow 13 to use it, but only 74% of law firms, which is an interesting stat. 57% of corporate legal and tax professionals say they're going to use it outside, should be using it outside. At TR, I think some of this has already been said, but we're optimistic and believe in 3 years every professional will have an AI assistant, meaning you will have someone that you can delegate substantive tasks to. They will be able to do, a multi-step journey, and you'll be able to interact with it with plain English, because it can understand nuance and it can understand implication and subtlety. It will enable people to, probably likely alleviate those tasks that they don't like to do, ultimately improving mental health. But it needs to be tested, developed, and authenticated by domain experts with Gen AI expertise, something we're doing. And at the end of the day, based on my discussions across the industry, I think the takeaway is that we need to evolve with it, embrace it with a healthy skepticism, and set expectations. And on its limitations, I can't emphasize that enough, the expectations and the limitations on what it can and cannot do. But I think my time is up, but I would like to leave you with an interesting comment that I read recently from Andrew Perlman about people expect way too much from these tools. They expect perfection for them not to make mistakes, and it's really worth emphasizing that you have to ask relative to what? Relative to a lawyer who never made mistakes. So I just think conceptually, we just need to understand the limitations and the capabilities, and then effectively trust and need to be higher, trust in the technology we choose, and then trust in the data.